Hi, today I'm going to be talking to you about what to kind of inspect in your presentations coming up. The three main things I'm going to talk to you about are typography, screen design, media. Typography is basically the style and appearance of the printed material, so what you type on there, how it appears. Screen design would be basically how you're going to set up your layout of your presentations, and then your media, which is going to be covering basically your text, pictures, video, sound, anything to make your presentations pop. First thing I want to talk to you about when you're making these is about clutter visualization. You'll see up here, avoid using different types of fonts through the presentation. You can tell how distracting and hard that kind of is to read. Try not to using fonts that are too hard to see. As you can see right here, I have a light background, so a lighter colored text probably wouldn't be the best idea. Don't use large fonts simply just to take up some space. Make sure it's appropriate and make sure it's going to be a consistent size. Try not to place too many images on a single slide because that's just a lot of information to kind of take in right there. And why this is so important is because too many different fonts, sizes, color, and other multimedia objects can cause cognitive overload. What that is, that's when there's just too much information or too many things going on a specific slide for them to learn simultaneously, and this causes them to be distracted more or less. They're unable to process the information because they're so distracted by what's going on outside of your material. Multimedia can be added. Please do add it to your presentation, but spread it out throughout the presentation and make sure that the information is relevant to your material. So make sure any video or picture you show is relevant to what you're saying on that slide. Okay, so what organized visualization would look like over here. This is an example of the font style. It's easy to read and it's consistent. My background is a lighter color, so I decided to make it a darker font to be appropriate. My size of my font isn't too small where people can't see it, but it's not large enough to where it takes up a whole lot of space. And over here on the right side, one image is plenty for one slide of work. So if I were talking about something that involved a graph, this would be the one multimedia, or excuse me, the one media object I would use for this slide. Okay, so again, in conclusion, avoid too much media in each of your slides to prevent cognitive overload. If you're going to use media, again, just please make sure it is relevant to the information that you're presenting on that specific slide. And make sure your screen design is neat and organized without any distracting colors or fonts, and just make sure it is simple. Again, we care more about the material, we care more about the information you're presenting than we do all of the media that makes it pop.